So let's talk about zippers, hooks, buttons, and buckles. These are types of fasteners and closures you can reuse from other clothing pieces. This is a seam ripper. It's your friend. You'll be using it a lot to remove stitches. Let's start with zippers. Removing and reusing a zipper is as easy as seam ripping along the zipper tape, separating it from what it was attached to. You can reuse most plastic and metal teeth zippers if you cut them to size and keep the slider body and pulls intact. You should know about the zipper presser foot. You can give yourself permission to hand sew the zipper to another piece of fabric, but the zipper presser foot, when attached to the machine, keeps the needle from hitting the metal or plastic teeth. Safer, faster, yeah. As an example, I'll pin my zipper to the fabric to keep it in place while I sew using the zipper presser foot, and you do both sides inside out, making sure your needle doesn't hit the zipper teeth, and you've reused the zipper from something else. Don't know what I'm going to do with this tiny pouch, but we'll figure out what to do with the guy. Alright, we're going to mess with buckles. Salvaging a buckle is super easy. Most times you just have to seam rip along the cord or strap to release the buckle. Here, I'm just going to hand sew this snap buckle to a nylon strap. Pretty easy. So many versions of these. Slide buckles, side release, overlapping, horseshoe, something. I mean, there are a lot. And most of them can be salvaged from other items like book bags or belts, and you can reuse them quite easily. Buttons and metal snaps and Velcro. I'll start by marking on both sides where I want the button to be, how far down from the previous button, and how close to the edge. That's tailor's chalk. Just makes it easier to mark. The button that I'm using is identical to the other buttons on the coat, and so you want to make sure that the button you use is able to fit through the buttonhole. Also, I'm using another button as backing for this button, and that's just to secure it from the thread from tearing through the fabric. A couple of things you can do is create a shank, which is raveling the thread behind the button to make space for the fabric of your buttonhole, or make a pattern on the front of your button. You know, some garments have identical replacement buttons sewn to the tags inside the lining. Look inside the lining of your clothes on the tags and see if they came with replacement buttons. And metal snaps and Velcro. You can easily reuse the Velcro by saving both pieces and sewing on the hook side and the soft side onto another item. Fun fact, cockleburs, the prickly plant that sticks to your clothing, the inspiration for Velcro. Here, I'm stitch ripping a metal snap from the coat. What's a metal snap? They're small sew-on closures that fit one side into the other. There are many types of metal closures. Some can only be installed with rivet tools. This metal snap has plastic around the metal piece, probably for support. Now that I've taken one snap from a coat, I'll sew this one onto a pocket. I'll start by marking where I want the snaps to be so they'll line up. There are 4 holes on each side of the snap. You'll want to sew through these onto the fabric to secure it, sort of like a button. But in this case, you'll want to sew each side onto the places where you want them to join together. You want to make sure you don't sew over the hole in which the snap secures itself. Make sure not to sew too many loops, creating a clump of thread that'll block the snap. It should snap together pretty easily. Hooks and eyes. To sew on this type of closure, I'm going to use a garment ruler to mark where I want each side to be. I've marked it, and now I'm placing it to mark where the hook and eye will sit, I'll sew one of 2 loops on each side. As you see, I'm only threading through the top layer of the fabric, so not to show threading on the bottom side or top side. This type of closure relies on tension to keep it hooked, so you may find them on bras, near waists, and on elastic pieces. This is a larger hook and eye set, and so it's sturdy and should clasp well if placed right.